That's my best friend. That's my best friend.
What's up, everybody? You already know Dave Mo Flips, sitting in the mobile office. You already know how I do. So check it out. It doesn't happen often, but it's crazy that it did happen. So let me show you the I think it's a 2012 Jeep Compass that I was doing a video for you guys picking it up. Actually, back when I picked up the Tiburon. This is how long I had just forgotten about it, this clip that I'm going to run for you guys. And then I'm going to get into what the issue was and how much I sold it for and whether or not I made money. Without further ado, let's get into this little 4-minute video that I made picking up the vehicle. And then I'll show you the pictures from ACV if I still have them. All right, guys, let's check it out. All right, guys. So I think I just found the Compass. I don't know if you can see it. It's a silver one right over there. So remember, this one's got an issue with the crankshaft position sensor not being learned, I guess is what it said. So, and it'll stay running if it's in anything other than drive, which is something I've never heard of before. But anyway, let's take a quick little look. It certainly doesn't look that bad from here, but I'm gonna give Leroy the keys to it. Here, brother. And here, what do you got? What is this one? This is the Maxi system?
Yeah, the Alltel.
It's the Alltel Maxi system. It's like a $2,200 to $2,500 computer. That obviously is way too rich for my blood. But what he's gonna try to do now is kind of relearn that crank sensor, and hopefully we'll figure out what's going on with this car right here. But like I said, at first glance, it does not look bad at all. So let's see if she'll start up. Are you gonna try to start her, or what are you thinking? Let's check the tires, make sure they're not flat. Oh, these are good. I know this front one was good. That's good. Yeah, so this one was I think $1,250 for the Compass. So we'll see where we're at. He's getting his system hooked up now. The cool thing about coming to these lots, when you do, you can look and see what cars they have that are going to come up on ACV and actually really kind of inspect them when you're here. So when they do come up, you get to see them. So that's it. Something does not sound good in there, but we knew about this noise to begin with. So let's see what's going on. Like I can feel it, but there it is. Oh my! There it is over there. All right, hold on for 1 second. Damn, look at that thing is shaking. All right. So one would assume you're gonna need motor mounts with a shake like that. Worst case scenario, if this thing does need a motor, like worst case scenario, if it needs a motor, I found them for like almost $500 to $600 to about $1,200, depending on the mileage. This thing's got 117 on it. I don't think it sounds bad. With the shaking like that, you know, I don't know. Let's take a look to see if Leroy's got anything going on. He's in there doing his thing. We're gonna do this here, and I'll come back to you. Otherwise, it's just like a waiting game. You know, you guys all have mechanics or have worked on cars. There's nothing. You don't know nothing until it's done. So, I mean, look at the hood. A lot of motion in this car. All right, guys. So, check it out. Leroy is trailering the car back for me. I'm driving the Tiburon. Get it back to Leroy's. I'm like, hey, you know, go through it, see what it is. Let's figure it out. Okay, no big deal. We know off the bat it won't start, so it needed an alternator. So he puts the alternator in it. I think we ended up getting the alternator for like $80. And I think he charged like $40 to put it in. Okay. So at this time, Leroy can only have a certain number of cars where he does his repairs. So he knows that the landlord or property manager, they're coming. So Leroy will show property for them if they're not around. So he gets a phone call, says, hey, we're coming in tomorrow. Just make sure, you know, you're not overpacked with cars. He says, okay, no problem. He ends up taking the Compass, drives it from his shop to the dealership. And he is like, where should I put it? And I'm like, put it at any spot. Just park it anywhere. Okay. Parks it, puts the keys in, figuring the next day he'd come pick it up and finish going through it. Well, the whole ride up to the shop, the car ran fine. The car's running perfect, starting, no issues whatsoever. Cleared out the codes. Everything's fine. That next day was Saturday. Someone comes up and goes, hey, how much for the Compass? And my guy's just like, oh, you know, text me. I'm like, I don't know, you know, 3,200, whatever. So they're like, okay. They ended up buying the car, the Jeep, whatever, you know, just like that. So I'm in the thing for $1,250 plus $25. So that's $1,275. I think it was like $100 I threw Leroy to bring it back. So let's round it up to $1,300. So it's $1,400. The alternator was $1.25. So let's say $1,500. Actually, I think that's what it came out to be. After I paid the $200, the tax, the title, because I do out the door pricing. I like out the door pricing. I want to say I ended up with like $2,700, $2,600. It was a weird number, like $2,597, because it's never even. Like the number I get is never even. When you're doing out the door pricing, just so you know, the number that the customer gets is even. So it'll be like $3,200. When you start backing out tax, title, and registration, or just the title and the tax and the $200 fee that goes to the house, my number always will have the change. It's so weird. If you're using a DMS software like we use Wayne Reeves, it's called Special Finance, and it has nothing to do with finance. It's just called Special Finance. You put in all the fees and then the number that you want out the door, and it does all the math for you. So I'm not sitting here with a calculator. It does it for you. Anyway, $2,600 on a $1,500 car. Guys, that's $1,100 in profit. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the $1,000 a car number. When it comes to cash cars, you're not going to make that big financing number. And it's just funny that that car just happened to be part. It had nothing written on it. Nothing at all. Anyways, guys, that's the story of the Jeep Compass. I told you I would start telling you my wins and my losses. That's just one that I had for you guys. It wasn't even advertised. Never ran an ad. Never put it on Facebook. Just parked it. Actually, I never even drove it. I'm thinking about this right now. I don't think I've ever even driven that vehicle. You can't ask for anything better than that. You really can't ask for anything better than that. Anyways, guys, subscribe, hit that bell. Thank you so much. I'll get back to you on the next one.